How do you feel this spring? Is there kind of a different feeling to this spring compared to others? More familiarity with the offense?
Yeah, it's easier because we all have had like a year with the plays. So this is Coach Fry's now the OC. So technically this is my 4th OC in 4 years. So I'm not really used to having a whole year of plays come back. So this is cool because we were in the plays during the year and we're doing them again finally. So it helps for me and it helps the other guys because we're already, like, the mental errors right now are already way down than last spring and even during the season. So yeah, it's a lot easier.
How is it to have your offensive line coach as the offensive coordinator? Are there advantages, disadvantages?
It feels kind of the same. Not much has changed. He definitely tells us more about the whole concept of the play now rather than just like the O-line because he's involved in more of that now. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. Nothing much has changed.
Is it helpful for you as an offensive line to be able to learn more about the entire scheme?
Yeah, because sometimes he gives us signals that correspond with how our offense is lined up because sometimes we don't look to our right and left to see what our offense is lined up as. So those signals help with us. Us learning what the wide receiver is supposed to do and running back and quarterback is important too.
Does he spend as much time in the offensive line meetings as he used to?
Yeah, everything's the same. He just leads the kind of like team meeting with the offense when we go in there. He's kind of talking to the wide receivers and all the other positions too. So same amount of time though.
How is it having Alec on your left as opposed to Andre James leaving?
I think, well, it's hard when you lose a good player like Andre. He was really technically sound. He knew all the plays, but Alex coming pretty far from when he got here. He still has a lot of work to do, just like the rest of our guys. But I think he'll be just as good as Andre, if not better, the next year or two.
After the season, did you guys have any sort of players meeting or anything to kind of talk about going forward after the first season?
No, I think we all kind of knew that it was. You can't really give an excuse for how the season went just because of young players and new offense and new everything. But I think we all kind of knew that we all have talent and we're all really great players. We just need more experience. And so I think we're taking that into spring and into the fall. And then I think we're just going to be a much better team because of that.
What's the energy level? Off-season workouts coming in the first 2 practices.
We have like optional workouts, and everybody's coming in. Like last year, we didn't have a lot of guys come in because not everybody was sort of together. But now everybody's got everybody's back. We're all coming in for optional workouts, and it's just sort of the cohesion's a lot better, I'd say, this year than last year.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's because when you struggle, like as a group, and when you have 3 wins and you lose a lot of games, it kind of shows the people that stick with you are the people that really care. A lot of guys, might go to another program because we're losing, but the people that are staying here, you can call them your brothers. So I think that's what it is.
The group, in terms of scholarship athletes, is pretty small this year.
Yeah.
Has that kind of affected kind of people's roles on the team or the kind of dynamic at all?
I'll compare it to my freshman and sophomore year because those 2 years we had a lot more scholarship guys, and I think if you look at the amount of walk-ons that were playing, there was very little, and now you see a lot of walk-ons starting spots or just barely second string. So it's definitely changed. I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of our scholarship guys left, but I think that the main thing is that these guys are just stepping up. These guys are working really hard. I think a lot of these walk-ons see that there's an opportunity for them, so they're working really hard and it's paying off.
How have you seen that hard work? What's kind of impressed you?
Well, we have, I don't even know how many walk-ons we have in the O-line room. I think we have 4, and Sam right now is getting reps with the ones. John's getting reps with the ones, and we're always in there going over film and stuff like that. I see the linebackers. Some of the walk-on linebackers are just on top of their stuff every day, getting extra work in the weight room, which is not something you really used to see from second string guys, really. So I think everyone's just kind of working harder because they see an opportunity.
So a lot of the guys in the offense, quarterbacks Dorian, Austin, running back Josh Kelly, are kind of returning. What's it like to have that kind of communication with them already established?
It definitely helps. I think that kind of goes along with the O-line coming back too. Everybody knows each other. You don't have to have this weird period where like you're establishing relationships with each other. Everybody knows each other. We've all been through a whole season together, a whole spring ball together, really. So everyone is familiar with each other, so that always helps. And we're not afraid to get on each other. If we mess something up, we're not trying hard. Because when you first meet somebody, you might have worries that they're too sensitive. But now that we're brothers, now that we're all friendly, we can get on each other, and it really helps.
You guys had some success in the running game for the first time in a long time last year. How do you take that and improve on it this year with almost everyone coming back?
Yeah, I think that was really cool because my first 2 years we didn't have a great run offense. And I always wanted to have a great run offense. And having Josh there is really helpful. Having 4 of our guys come back on the O-line is really helpful. And I think the most important thing is having all our plays back. I don't want to blame the first 2 years on anybody or anything, but going through a new offense every year, a new OC, it does get tough. And I think it just goes to show that how well Coach Kelly has structured this offense and how well it works. And when you get guys with good experience, when you get guys with good technique, and you put a whole year under your belt with that, I think you're going to really improve it.
How was Dorian kind of taken to evolving as a leader this year?
He's I'd say he's probably like, if not like the leader on the team, like one of the top 3 leaders. He's just kind of stepped in. He's getting the break after every practice. He's actually getting on guys if they're not doing the right thing. And when you look at a leader, you want to make sure they're doing the right thing, and it seems like he's doing the right thing a lot. So that really helps. He's going to class too, which is good. And I think he's doing great. And it's going to be cool to see him in the next year or two. Where he's at. He's probably going to lead the whole team easily.
When did you start to notice that kind of change for him?
That was probably in the winter, I think. Towards the end of the season, you kind of could see it. But with Wilton being there and him not, being like the definite starter, I think he had a bit of doubt in his mind. But now that, he's like the main guy right now, I think that definitely showed him that he has the ability, and if he just trusts himself, he can be a leader.
Have you gotten any glimpses of him at all in these first 2 days? Just look up and see any of his passes?
No. I'm dead tired after every play, so I'm just looking at the sideline for the plays and running to the ball, but I don't know, I'm sure he's doing fine.
Rick, BK, Marcus, and Moses are all gone. How are you kind of feeling their absence?
Yeah, we lost a lot of great players, a lot of great guys too. I think we have a lot of guys that can step in, and that kind of goes along with what I said about the walk-ons, is that they're seeing that those guys are gone, and they're not looking at it as like, oh, what are we going to do now? They're saying, well, this is my time, this is where I have to step in, this is where I have to improve and show that I can be as good as those guys, if not better.
Give us a sense of how this feels after being in the program for a year now, to step in spring and basically be working with the ones at this point.
It's really good. Last year I got to watch a great player, Andre, and he really taught me the ways of how college football goes. And so it was really good to see how hard he worked, and so I would try to match that. And I feel like that really helped me this year on transitioning from second group to now running in with the ones. And so I think that spring is going to be a real good tone setter for our entire team and myself as well.
How helpful is it that all the rest of the starters returned, and it's kind of like you're the only new guys, so you have some guys to kind of teach you the ways?
I think it's really great because it's just no one's not knowing each other. Everybody's intertwined, and we have a really good flow in the offensive line group. We're always in our O-line room together if we're not at class, and so it's really good because we have a great bond with each other on and off the field. And so it really keeps everybody accountable during the play, outside of the play. So after a play, we'll run off to the sideline and we'll just start communicating running away, what'd you have here? You should have done this. So it's really great having the older guys kind of lead me a little bit.
What was the whole process of you learning about Andre going pro? How you realized that you would probably be with the ones in spring?
I was really just hanging out at home with my family, and I just saw the notification on Instagram and ESPN that he entered into the draft. So I was like, wow, all right. So it was kind of a shock to me because I thought he was going to come back, and I thought we were going to have more of a competition trying to see who was going to be either at left or right tackle. But it was really it was shocking, but then again, there was a little bit of comfort because then I knew that I could have a better chance of playing this year, and that's what I'm trying to do this spring is solidify that spot.
Where do you think you are in your development? How well do you know the offense? How comfortable do you feel?
Right now, with the base plays we're putting in, I think I know the offense pretty well, but just like anything, you can get better at it, and I feel that's what I need to work on is getting better at little technique stuff that will eventually help us just be great as we want to be.
How does this year change with Coach Fry going to offensive coordinator instead of O-line coach?
It really wasn't that much of a change. It was more of like last year, I felt he and Coach Kelly more of like offensive coordinators together, and just this year him getting the main position really, I think, benefited the offensive line because we all like to run the ball, and so we felt like we'll have more ball running and Josh Kelly will have more yards, and so I was really happy to hear that he got promoted to OC.
You got a chance to play a little bit toward the end of last season. How do you think those kind of late season game reps are going to help you going forward?
I think those late season game reps were very good for me. I feel that when I was on the sideline watching, I was getting great mental reps like our coach tells us to do, but actually being inside of the play and between the white lines was really a different tone setter from high school to college, and so I feel like that's really going to help me because I know how fast the game speed is, I know how to do certain things, I have to play with a faster tone, a faster motor.
What was it like getting on the field for the first time and getting that introduction to college football?
It was really kind of like breathtaking. It was good to see because my parents drove out for the game from Vegas to watch my sister play basketball, and so it was really nice to have some family support there, even though I had a whole bunch of brothers on the sideline. But it was really nice because I'd come off the sideline and my coach would coach me up, telling me I need to do certain things better, and so it was really nice knowing that I had people behind me helping me, which was really beneficial because I would mess up, but then I'd get it fixed right away.
Did anything shock you from going just mental reps to actually taking the physical reps?
Probably the hitting. I would say that these guys are real men, and it's a more physical game than I've been used to playing, so it's going to be, or it's not going to be, it was very shocking on that first play when the ball was snapped and I got hit. I was like, all right, got to play with a little more intensity.
Do you remember what happened on your first play?
Yeah, it was outside zone to the right, and I had to reach the guy. I had to get nose up and stretch and eject, so that's what I was trying to do, but he was a little more physical than me, so I had to use a little bit more muscle and energy drive.
How was it going up against Keyshawn this year's out in practice? The advantages of going up against him?
Keyshawn, he really is helping me on not teaching me, but getting me ready for the games because he's very fast off the ball, and he's getting me on some plays right now, and I have to adjust my technique and how fast I'm getting off the ball. So I really like it because out of the field, me and him are good guys. We hang out, and then on the field, he really pushes me to strive to be better than I really am.
What's been the approach from you guys as players after last season, only winning 3 games?
Our approach is much different. When I first got here, I felt like the energy wasn't as big as we wanted it to be, as our coaches were trying to make it to be. And then watching that entire season, it really showed on the field we weren't all together, we weren't one family, one unit. And I feel like now, transitioning from this off season into the season now in spring ball, it's really going to help us because last year no one really showed up to any of the optional workouts, but now it's everybody's coming. Before it was you're kind of looked at well, why are you going to the extra stuff? You're fine. But now if you don't go, they're actually getting on you to make us be better. We're trying to strive to be great, and I feel like that's going to happen this season.
Why have you guys come together closer as a family?
I feel it's just because we seen during the season little bits and pieces of how great we really can be. Against that Cal game, it really showed that when we're all working together as one unit, it really shows that we're the Bruins and we can be great like we used to be.